Good morning, dear students. Today we will continue with the revision of the chapter. We have already discussed about the cell membrane. We have also talked about the cell wall. We discussed about the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. Now let's discuss about the tonicity of different solutions. Now there are two types of movement which occur for substances to move in and out of the cell. One is diffusion. Diffusion can take place of solid, liquid as well as gases, and the other is movement of water between the cell and its external environment, and the process is known as osmosis. Now, as we have earlier discussed, there are three types of solution. A hypotonic solution is a solution in which there is no exchange of water from the cell to its environment. So in a hypotonic solution, there is more water outside the cell and less water inside the cell. As a result, cell will take up water and the cell will swell. In an isotonic solution, there is no exchange of water occurring. No water will move in, no water will move out. As a result, there will be no change in the shape of the cell. In a hypertonic cell, there will be net loss of water and the cell shrinks. The water will move out of the cell and as a result, cell will shrink. Now, if we talk of plant cell, the plasma membrane either engulfs food and other materials inside, and this process is known as endocytosis. Because the cell wall is outer, it is a hard covering, it does not allow excess of water to move inside. Suppose the cell is kept in a solution where water is moving out, that is in a hypertonic solution. The process is known as plasmolysis. Now, can dead cells absorb water? No, dead cells cannot absorb water through osmosis. Can plant, fungi, bacteria exist in hypotonic solution? They swell up. The cell membrane is able to prevent them from bursting. So cell membrane is a protective layer. It prevents the cell from taking up excess of water also. Then is the structure of the nucleus. Nucleus is made up of nuclear membrane, where there are nuclear pores which allows movement of cell substances in and out of the nucleus. Inside the nucleus there are chromosomes. Chromosomes are made up of DNA and proteins. These chromatin are the hereditary material which we inherit from our parents. In case of prokaryotes, they do not have a nucleus. They have a region known as nucleoid, where the nucleus does not have a boundary. Whereas in eukaryotes, there is a proper nuclear membrane present. So if we see the differences between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, prokaryotes, there is no presence of nucleus. In eukaryotes, nucleus is present. Single chromosome is present in prokaryotes. Multiple chromosomes are present in eukaryotes. Prokaryotes undergo asexual reproduction. Eukaryotes undergo sexual as well as asexual reproduction. There's a printing error over here. They are generally unicellular. They are generally multicellular. Some eukaryotes are unicellular. There are no membrane-bound organelles in prokaryotes, whereas there are membrane-bound organelles in eukaryotes. Examples: bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, and in eukaryotes, fungi, plants, and animals. And here are the diagrams of the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cell. So here are the different cell organelles that are present. We have a mitochondria, we have Golgi apparatus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, then peroxisomes, centrioles, ribosomes. These are the different organelles present in an animal cell. Okay. Now, significance of the membrane-bound organelles. We have discussed all of them, like plastids are present only in plant cells, whereas Centrioles are present only in animal cells. Talking of the endoplasmic reticulum, they are of two types, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes that are responsible for manufacturing of protein, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in manufacture of fats and lipids. These lipids and proteins are used for making cell membrane, and the process is known as membrane biogenesis. Proteins can act as an enzyme. Both protein and lipid act as hormone. Now, talking of the functions of endoplasmic reticulum: transportation of material between different parts of cytoplasm, folding of proteins, that is making modification of the newly synthesized protein to take it to its destination. Detoxifying poisons and drugs out of the cells is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum of the liver cells. Golgi complexes are like extension of the endoplasmic reticulum. They help in further on modification or folding of the proteins, and they have a cis and a trans phase. These sac-like structures over here, what you see, these sacs, they are known as your cisternae. Some of you were asking me what are these cisternae. So these sacs, each of them are known as cisterna, and together they are known as cisternae. They have a cis and a trans phase for accepting and releasing proteins. And functions of Golgi apparatus is formation. They carry materials synthesized by endoplasmic reticulum to different parts of the cell, and the materials is stored in vesicles. They form complex sugars, and they also help in formation of lysosomes. So they are known as mothers of lysosomes. Now, lysosomes are small vesicles which have proteins or enzymes, and they are also known as the suicidal bag of the cell. Lysosomes are called the suicidal bags because they have materials that can damage the cell. So they can kill the cell. If the lysosomes burst out, the enzymes released would digest the cell. Next is the mitochondria, which we call the semi-autonomous organelle, as it can synthesize its own protein. It has a double membrane structure. It has its own DNA, and it has its own ribosome. We have already discussed the ribosome is of 70S type, which is of prokaryotic type. DNA is like that of the prokaryote. Only one strand of DNA is present. Now, this organelle is made up of two membranes. One smooth outer membrane, and the inner membrane is highly folded. And inside the inner membrane is the matrix where the energy is made. So the energy for the cell, the currency for the energy is ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. It is synthesized inside over here. So energy in order to carry out various activities is generated in the mitochondria, and that's the reason it is called the powerhouse of the cell. And these are sites for cellular respiration. They use oxygen from air to oxidize carbohydrates and thereby release energy. Now, ATP, as I told you, is the energy currency, which is known as adenosine triphosphate. The outer membrane is porous in nature, and the inner membrane is deeply folded. Inner membrane of mitochondria is called cristae, facilitates generation of ATP